Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here, and today I have for you a special request from a commenter in one of my videos a few days ago. He asked if I could make Madolches, or do a Madolche deck profile, and I didn't have any, so I went out and I bought all the Madolche cards that I thought I needed to make a somewhat budget-friendly deck profile, because, not gonna lie, Madolches are kind of expensive. Well, very few of them, but they're a little up there for me. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you my rendition of a somewhat budget-friendly deck profile for Madolches. We got 2 Madolche Magellin. When this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. When this card is normal or flip summoned, you can add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. So there's a searcher of the deck, and it's pretty good, and it's one of the pricey ones. And so yeah, you're only gonna run 2 because it's a budget deck. And 2 Madolche Angeli. When this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. You can tribute this card to special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck, but shuffle it into the deck during the end phase of your next turn. You can only use this effect of Madolche Angeli once per turn. The special summon monster cannot be destroyed by battle. And this one is part of a little combo that I do to try and get all my pieces to make my Madolches somewhat stronger. It's very common in the Madolche archetype to use it in the same way that I do. I'm gonna use it with Madolche Hoopcake. So that's who you would summon normally. When this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. You can target 1 monster in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon 1 Madolche from your deck. Special summon 1 Madolche from your deck, except Madolche Hootcake. You can only use this effect of Madolche Hootcake once per turn. We got 2 Madolche Massangeletto. That is who I would normally be summoning to the field with Hootcake. When this card is in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard. When this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Madolche spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. You must control a face-up beast type Madolche monster to activate and resolve this effect. That is why you want Hootcake on the field. Got 1 Madolche Puddingcess. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle this card into the deck. While you have no monsters in your graveyard, this card gains 800 attack and defense. After damage calculation, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target 1 of your opponent's destroyed 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. Two Madolche Chevalier. When this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you shuffle it into the deck. Your opponent cannot target face-up Madolche monsters for attacks except Madolche Chevalier, which honestly kind of sucks, because if it says cannot attack anyone except this card, and you had 2 of them on the field, you would have a lock. But no, it says except Chevalier, so that means you could just attack either if you have 2 on the field. But it protects your other cards, so why not? Beef it up a little, and yeah. I really like those lock combos though. I'm definitely a fan. Got 3 Madolche Mewfile. When this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. When this card is a normal summon, you can special summon 1 Madolche from your hand. Which is pretty fun because you can help with your link plays. Yeah, that's the gist of it. You can also help get other effects off by having them special summoned. Got Madolche Lyrilusc. When this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle this card into your deck. When this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 field spell card from your deck to your hand. There must be another face-up Madolche monster on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So I have 3 of them. Normally people don't run Lyrilusc, but I do because I have a field spell besides a Madolche field spell for negation reasons. You'll see. Got 2 Madolche Marmalade. When this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's cards, either by battle or card effect, and sent to the graveyard, shuffle this card into the deck. When this card is flipped face up, you can target 1 Madolche spell or trap card in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. This is good just for getting resources. Also, it's a 2000 defense, so if it does get attacked into and it's not killed, you could use it for, honestly, either your Madolche Queen Tiramisu or your linking for Sistart. That's the end of your Madolches in the main deck. Now for some tech of my own, got 2 Guardianiatos. If you have no monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you're generally trying to not have any cards no monsters in your graveyard. You can send 1 equipped spell card from this card to the graveyard, then target up to 3 monsters in your opponent's graveyard, banish those targets, and this card gains 500 attack for each monster banished by this effect until the end. I don't have any equips in here, so that second effect doesn't apply, but I enjoy summoning Guardianiatos and having a 25 beat stick on the field just cuz, and it just helps. I like it. And lastly, 1 Giant Rat, because everyone except Guardianiatos is an Earth monster. So when this card is destroyed by an opponent by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Earth monster with 1500 or less attack from your deck in attack position, which is a lot of them. Let me just give it a quick look. That means Marmalade, Lyrilusc, Mewfile, not Chevalier. You can summon Pudding Cess, which is cool, not Messengelato. You can summon Hoot Cake. You can summon Angeli, and you can summon Magdalene. So that's a lot of resources with just, that 1 card. Alright, now for our spells, we got 2 Madolche Chateau. It's the field spell. When this card is activated, shuffle all Madolche monsters in your graveyard into the deck. All Madolche monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. If a monster in your graveyard would be returned to the deck by the effect of a Madolche monster, you can add it to your hand instead. Which is really cool because, you get your resources back. Got 2 Madolche Ticket. I love this card so much, honestly. It's so fun. When a Madolche card is returned from your side of the field to the graveyard, or from the graveyard to the hand, or the main deck, by a card effect, add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a face-up fairy-type Madolche monster, you can special summon the monsters from your deck in face-up attack position instead of adding it to your hand. You can only use the effect of Madolche Ticket once per turn. Sorry, I've been a little sick, so I've been having a bit of a dry throat, so I'm just trying to catch up to myself. Alright. And lastly, my little tech. 1, the Sanctuary in the Sky. Not because this is a fairy deck, although it does have fairy cards, which is pretty good. Battle damage to the controller of a fairy type monster from battle involving a fairy monster becomes 0. That effect could be helpful for some monsters, but it normally does not apply. I promise, I have a reason for it. Got 3, Madolche Lesson. Target 1 Madolche monster in your graveyard, shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do, all Madolche monsters you currently control gain 800 attack and defense. You can shuffle 1 other monster from your graveyard to the deck. Now, this is because a lot of your Madolches don't really have that much attack. You try to beef them up as much as you can, because normally when you have your field spell, they get as high as 2,000, maybe a little more. And you're just like, yeah, that's cool, but it's not the best. So this is something that'll just boost them up all by another 800. So that's cool. Got 2, Madolche Palooza. Special summon any number of Madolche monsters from your hand, but shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. And if you have your whole spell thing going on, you can get them back to your hand or special summon them. So that's it's just funny. It's fun. You got 2, Madolche Waltz. A lot of people don't run Madolche Waltz, and I've been told that you shouldn't be run because it's such little damage, but I like it because it's cute. That's one thing. Also, a little bit of burn damage never hurt too much. Each time a Madolche monster you control attacks or is attacked after damage calculation, inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent. So even if you're going to get damaged, so will your opponent, and that's something. So you got 2 Madolche Knights. When a monster effect is activated and you have no monsters in your graveyard, negate the activation. Then if you control a Madolche Pudding Cess, shuffle 1 random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. You have only 1 Pudding Cess, so I normally don't count on this having its second effect, but also it's really easy to get her out. Yeah, it's an okay counter. It's not great, but it fits the deck and it can work in better ways. So I noticed a lack of protection from this deck, so I gave it that tech of Sanctuary in the Sky and 3 Divine Punishment. Now, this is cool because you can search your Sanctuary in the Sky with Lyrilusc and just leave it in your hand until need be. So, Divine Punishment. Activate only if Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field. Negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or monster effect, and destroy that card. So, they basically just negate anything, as long as you have your Sanctuary in the Sky. And I've used this on multiple occasions, and it worked out really well. But if you wanted my advice on something to do besides Sanctuary and besides Divine Punishment, I would say this. You can take these 4 out, and if you're gonna go and put 3 each of these, that's totally up to you. If anything, put another one of her and Jelly, put one more of your Guardian Eatos and put 2 giant rats. So I wouldn't increase Magdalene, but I would increase Angeli, Eatos, and Giant Rat. Only because I think that would work. It would work to your advantage. Just I would think it would be better. For the extra deck, we have 3 Madolche Queen Tiramisu. It's rank 4, requires 2 level 4 Madolche monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target up to 2 Madolche monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them to the deck. Also, after that, shuffle cards your opponent controls into the deck up to the number of Madolche cards returned, which is really good because you're not targeting. So you can whisk away pesky monsters that would otherwise stick on the field. Also, she's 22 attack, so with your Chateau, she'd be up to 27, and that's not nothing, so that's great. You got 1 Madolche Pudding Cess, Chocolate a la Mode. It requires 2 level 5 Earth monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card by ranking a level 4 or lower Madolche monster you control as Xyz material. Xyz material attached to that monster becomes attached to this monster. Once per turn, you can target 1 Madolche card in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck. While this card has Madolche Pudding Cess as a material, when a Madolche card is in your graveyard is shuffled to the main deck, and except during the damage step, you can detach a material from this card, special summon 1 Madolche monster from your deck in attack position or face down defense position. Now, one way that you can get the Pudding Cess as a material to this card, you can replace a Divine Punishment for a instant fusion and just get a level 5 fusion monster onto the field, like Panzer Dragon or something. And lastly, 3 Madolche Fresh Sistart. It requires 2 Madolche monsters. It's a link 2. While this card points to a Madolche monster, Madolche spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can shuffle 1 Madolche monster from your graveyard into the deck instead. Which is honestly really good. Because then your cards get shuffled back to the deck, the spells and traps on the field are going to be like, hey, get that back onto the hand, or get it back into the field, and it's protected again. You could even put it onto one of the places that it points to, and it'll keep it safe. Alright guys, so that is my rendition of a budget-friendly Madolche deck. Tell me what you think. I honestly do want some more changes to this deck. I don't think it's the best that it can be at the moment, but I do like it. I have used it and I have won some matches. It was really fun. But what would you do to make it better? And yeah, so please like and subscribe. Remember, I have 100+ budget-friendly decks. And so there's going to be a lot of fun content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. Most importantly, have fun. Also, I recently started playing online on Dueling Nexus. It was recommended to me by the same person who wanted me to do this deck. And I have been kicking some ass with my Lyrilusc OTK deck, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, please like and subscribe, have fun, and my tag on there is DeckTrolls underscore YouTube. Alright. Have fun, guys.